Happy Aloha Friday, gang. Reached the end of another awesome week. My weekly commute into the office. It seems like, I guess, leadership in the company is thinking about bringing people into the office a little bit more frequently, which I knew was going to happen inevitably. You know, hopefully they, like everything else in this company, drag their feet and not rush to institute the additional day. Hopefully, by the time they try to enforce it, I'll be on my way out. I mean, hopefully they start it in maybe next year. Yeah, but we'll see. I don't think they can universally do it because they cut down a lot of office space. Yeah, so I mean, you can't have it both ways. You can't try to save money on desk space and expect everybody to come in. So I don't know. I mean, it's a copycat market, you know, industry where, oh, those guys are doing it, so we need to do it too, right? I get it. I mean, it is what it is. You know, it's that old school mentality, right? If I can't see you, you must be goofing off. There's no level of trust, none of that thing, right? So then now it doesn't really do the company any benefit by changing it, in the sense that now you're basically telling them, like, well, you've been doing it like this for the last 5 years. We're going to squeeze more juice out of the mango. We're going to get you to come into the office. We're going to make you sit in traffic. You know, we're going to do all these things to you. And it's like, why? What benefit are you getting? You know, one of my coworkers told me that, you know, once you start to change the remote work telework policy, you have a 10% attrition rate in your company. You know, people are disillusioned. It's like, oh, yeah, we appreciate all your hard work, but oh, now we want more out of you. I mean, what other message are you trying to send by bringing us into the office, right? I mean, if we've been doing it for the last 4 or 5 years, what's the big deal now, right? Well, because everyone else is doing it. Well, that's what should set us apart. Like, we have a telework policy. The expectation of coming in is not there. It's a huge benefit. I mean, imagine if you lived 40 miles away, 35 miles away in Waianae. You know, it's not an easy commute. And, you know, the higher ups, yeah, they probably live in town somewhere, a nice building, easy commute. Yeah, it's nothing to them, right? But not everybody can afford those types of places that close to the town area, to the offices. So have a little consideration for the smaller people. Yeah, what message are you sending? Anyway, I get off of that little rant. So this past weekend we got a couple puppies. You know, after my little baby Nico passed away, I don't say I was depressed, but I was kind of sad. I don't really go in the backyard. I mean, one of the things that I go back there in the backyard is play with her, pet her, and have fun with her. You know, it's kind of, it was kind of tough. You know, it's tough on the other dogs, right? Because I don't give them as much attention and all of that. So, got 2 new puppies. I've been kind of watching like Craigslist and Facebook, right? So, trying to find the right situation, you know, right? Somebody's not trying to charge me $1,000, $5,000 for a dog, right? I'm just looking for a smaller breed, toy dog, you know, Chihuahua Terrier mix. So last Friday night, somebody posted giving away puppies, giving away free puppies. Just want them to have a good home. So I hit them up on Friday night, and then we connected Saturday. Late Saturday afternoon, and we went over there. So we were lucky. We were the first ones to come take a look at the puppies. And, you know, I know a lot of times people want to choose things based on appearance or whatever, right? But for me with dogs, right, I let them come to me, right? So we went there. Funny because the guy So the family, I guess they had the male and the female that gave birth. They had one dog that they kept from our previous litter, and then they had 6 puppies. So they actually had 9 dogs, right? So I sat there. One dog immediately jumped on me, right? And then another one, the runt, came to me afterwards, right? And then the third was the female that came. So I was like, as much as I want the female dog, I think having 2 puppies makes it a little, I mean, of course it's twice as much for food and all of that, but it kind of eases it for the puppies. Now they have somebody like a playmate versus, you have one puppy, it's lonely. You got to work, you got responsibilities, so you can't be around the dog all the time, right? So with the 2 puppies, they kind of play with each other, keep each other company. One's significantly bigger than the other. It's kind of funny. They don't even look like they're from the same litter, but one kind of looks a little bit more like a terrier, kind of little longer legs, and then one definitely looks like a chihuahua. The runt looks like a chihuahua, and that's the one that kind of grabbed my heart and kind of reminds me of Nico. So I can kind of feel that I'm going to be gravitating towards Mocha. Mocha's the runt, and Patches is the terrier. So I've been having fun with that, getting them into the routine, taking them outside. Right now they're living in the house, and they're way too small to put outside. Everything they see, they're trying to eat, so I can't let them go in the backyard yet. I gotta get them beyond the point where they're trying to eat. Like little toddlers, when they start crawling and they find little stuff on the ground and put it in their mouth. It's exactly the same thing. So I'm kind of mindful. I take them outside, so kind of training them to go outside and do most of their business. They're still not perfect yet, but I mean they're 8 weeks old, so they're still young, right? We're still kind of working on that. But yeah, it's kind of made me feel a little bit better. That little thing was missing. Pets are a huge part of your family, a huge part of your life. Yeah, it's hard to. It's tough when they pass, but they bring you a lot of joy when they're there. So. Balance, right? On the jiu-jitsu side, still training, coaching, kind of pushing a little harder. I mean, I talked to Cart today about the reality that at some point I won't be able to train a concept, right? Everybody goes so hard. It's a comp school. I don't want to be the anchor. I don't want to slow people down to have to draw back. But the Cart did bring up a kind of an idea, a concept that not everybody gets, right? So. Sometimes you don't know how to level up and level down your intensity and dial it back based on your opponent, right? Whether it's a size difference, age difference, skill difference, cardio difference. Because we're coaches, we kind of have that. We've learned that a while ago, right? And I've seen other higher level guys. They understand that idea of there's value in the roles, and it's not always about just destroying your partner, right? So trying to alter your levels. I get that there are other people who are trying to get better, and they just pretty much see me as a seasoned brown belt. They don't really necessarily think about, well, would you really go that hard with your grandpa, right? I mean, it could be most of these kids' grandpas, right? So I don't know. Maybe at some point I have the conversation, but right now I can still keep up. For the most part, right? I kind of keep up speed-wise, but my technique's still there. I can handle most of them, so we kind of play it that way. At some point, it will change, right? But try to ride it out as long as I can. Just be smart about training, diet, recovery, sleep. Sleep's important. Though lately I've been kind of getting by with 7 hours sleep and a nap, so I don't know. Gotta try to figure out how to get back to 8 hours. 7 hours okay, but 8 hours probably feels better, yeah. Clock's been waking me up early, I guess probably because of the dogs. Make sure Pa's not stressing out. I'm going to take the dog out and deal with them first thing in the morning, so I'm trying to help out as much as I can. The dogs are getting a little bit more used to it. They're not crying as much as before. They just cry. But I think they're kind of getting used to it. Today's kind of the first day that I have to go to the office, and I'm not going to be home with them to watch them. So we bought a little pet pen, like a little gated thing. So trying to set up different ways, trying to tie it into their little cage where they sleep in. But I don't even really know if they sleep in there anymore. They just probably sleep on the outside. But they got smarter. They've gotten smarter. They figured out how to get out of it, right? So I have to adjust the alignment again. Hopefully they don't get out and like be all over the house. That would not sit well. I think, is it yesterday? I think Pa said she came home and one of the dogs is out making poop and all of that. So yeah, gotta kind of make sure they don't get out. I think she's gonna be too happy. Maybe I'll zip tie the cage to the gate to the cage, and that way they kind of get loose. Yeah, so trying to take care of that when I get them. Our shirts came in this week. Pretty stoked. Not the ultimate design that I wanted, but wanted to get something out to our team before Naga's about 3 weeks away. In 3 weeks? Yeah, 4 weeks. So it's super close. It's really close. Unfortunately, I misordered and I didn't order enough. So I'm gonna go pick up some more shirts today. I kind of hate asking Julie again to go get the shirts. Hopefully she doesn't mind. I mean, it is where she works, and I mean, I hope it's not so humbug. I kind of gave her a couple shirts when she gave me the first load, so hopefully she's okay with it. I texted her this morning. I'm sure she's busy, so hopefully she's not too agitated about it. You know. So set up some cameras for my parents this last week. I'm not sure if people are, other people have to deal with it. I know one of my friends at work and my brother-in-law, they set up cameras for their parents who are elderly. So I set theirs up, set up the same ones that I have, so I can use the app. I can check it out and see what they're doing. I can tell when they're leaving the house or someone's coming to visit. So it kind of gives a little sense of security, right? I mean, I can't be there, but I can at least check in and see where they're at when I need to. And then, maybe we add one more camera, another area, maybe in the kitchen, so we can see them when they're in the kitchen area. Just not to spy on them, but just make sure everything's okay. Yeah, that's kind of what I want to do. So probably work on that, get them one more camera, and have most of the areas covered. Yeah, after that. Weekend plans, nothing too heavy duty. Paz has a dentist appointment, so I'm gonna take her to that. Sam's Club run. She bought me a authentic wallet when she was on her trip. So I think it comes with the engravement. So I'll probably go get that taken care of. I don't know if I'll do it this Saturday. I know next Saturday she's doing her girls' day out. So we're probably not gonna do it then. Maybe I'll get a chance to either go to the comp class or get some kind of training next Saturday. I was trying to figure out where to go. I do want to go to the comp class because everyone's going, but on the other hand, it's kind of a hard push out of class. But I think it'll be good. All our concept guys are going, and so are Trickster. So I think it's like kind of like sister schools now. I kind of see it that way. Not really, not officially, but a lot of their guys come to our gym for the comp class, and then our guys have been going over there for like open mat and now the comp class. So it's kind of a good push. Yeah, enjoying that. Getting to go there, right? So one of the dads who recently started training with us. Yeah, he's it's kind of funny because his boy had been doing it for a number of years, and then some new people started. They created a friendship, right? So there's 3 families that they're really close. They train together. They go out together, they celebrate parties together, spend a lot of time together. So one of the other dads started jiu-jitsu, so this guy that his kid had been going for a while started too, right? So they got the bug. Those 2 guys got the bug. They want to train all the time. Unfortunately, one of the other dads injured his knee, so he's kind of slowed down a little bit. He's still training, but training a little bit more smart. But the other dad who's been, his son's been doing it for a while, I was asking him something, and he said, he kind of texted me back saying, "Oh, I'm trying to figure out the balance between family and jiu-jitsu." So I texted him back and said, "Let me know when you figure that out, because I still haven't figured out the balance between that." It's like any other hobby. or thing that you get involved with, right? Like you could spend all your time doing it, right? But when you're married and you have children, you have a job, you have other responsibilities, it's really hard. As much as you want to do jiu-jitsu every minute of every day, it's just not reality. Yeah, that's kind of the tough part. I think the good part for people that their entire family's trained, there's a better understanding of why you want to train so frequently and what that attraction is, right? But you know, like some families, maybe the husband trains but the wife doesn't, or vice versa. Sometimes it's hard for the spouse to figure that out, right? It's easier when the kids train and when the parents train, then they can kind of lump it. It's like, well, you know, we need to get the kids going, right? So like everything else in life, it's a balance, right? You need to strike that balance and keep things in harmony, right? Especially once you're married and you have children, you've made a commitment to people beyond yourself, right? You cannot be, it's not good to be selfish, right? It strains your relationships. So always keep in mind, you know, the balance is key. So that's pretty interesting perspective on, at least my perspective on that. You know, other people may feel otherwise, right? So again, appreciate anybody who's been listening to this. Appreciate any comments, feedback. You know, I'm kind of doing this for my future self, to remind myself, you know, how good I have it. Future Rob here today, right? You have a beautiful family. You have an awesome jiu-jitsu family. You know, we're blessed with our great health. You know, I owe a lot of that to, you know, our Lord and Savior. You know, Jesus Christ has been watching over us for a really long time. You know, and I think that people need to understand that things don't happen by chance, right? And you know, you will face struggles, right? It's not gonna always be unicorns and sunshine and ice cream, right? You're gonna face challenges. It's never easy. Life is not meant to be easy. There will be challenges, but that's what defines you, right? How you deal with the challenges. How do you rise above it, right? It's not, I mean, you gotta consider yourself very, very, very lucky and extremely rare that you've never faced challenges or difficulties in your life, right? It's just inevitable. It's just how you deal with it. A big part of it is your support group, right? You have people that can help you through those difficult times, right? And I always try to be a good friend, mentor, advisor, whatever you want to call it. I try to be there for as many people as I possibly can, because I know one day I'm going to need that, right? I know that the church has kind of small groups, right? It's kind of a change from what church was like when I was younger. You go to church, you go home, that's it. At least the churches that I attended. It's possible that small groups existed back in those days, but I was never exposed to it, right? So maybe in the last 10 years or so, when we started going to church regularly, the idea of small group has been introduced, right? I'm super busy now. I know it sounds like an excuse, but I do want to hopefully have one small group in the future, maybe when I'm retired. And then maybe it's not people from the church. Maybe it's just my friends, right? Other associates, colleagues, lifelong friends, even relatives, you know? Build it up that way. It doesn't have to necessarily be from the church. I think the church is a good vehicle because, you know, you have a weekly message. You have clear topics for discussion, right? But I mean, I've heard other people say their groups turn into like non-church related, right? Because it's a matter, it's more about the fellowship, having trusted people, share your highest highs and your lowest lows. Yeah, it's an important part of your life. Yeah. So again, praise God. He's been good to us. All power to Him. All right, guys.